having a look at some solving quadratic equations in this video. So two things that we need to be doing when we're solving quadratic equations. One, factorizing. Obviously, quadratics, we're doing a lot of factorizing. The second thing is using the null factor law, which is if you've got two things multiplying and it equals 0, one of them has to be 0. So that's what we call our null factor law, that the only way to get a 0 answer when you're multiplying is for one of them to be 0. So looking at our first type, we want to factorize this because we've got our 0 over here, which is what we want. Then we'll do x outside of x take 5. So we factorize that. So then we can say that either x equals 0 or x minus 5 equals 0. So x equals 0, that's finished. X minus 5 equals 0, I need to say that x is equal to 5. So therefore, x is equal to 0 or 5. Then we've got this one here that looks slightly different. We've got 2x squared equals 18. Now we could take the 18 over, or we can treat it like it is here. So I'll show you both ways. So I'm going to leave it like this. First step, I'm going to divide by 2, and I get x squared equals 9. So then x is going to be the square root of 9, and this is where I have to be careful and remember that it can be plus or minus 3. So x equals 3 or minus 3. Your other option is to bring that 18 over so that you get the something equals 0. Then factorize that, common factor of 2 outside of x squared minus 9. Now that is a difference of two squares. Also we can divide by 2. So we get left with x squared minus 9, which we know is x plus 3, x minus 3. And then we get x must be equal to negative 3 or positive 3 using our null factor law. The ones on the next page need a little bit more factorizing because they are in it. They've got 3 pieces we need to factorize. So we're going to use our AC method here. So we've got AC is going to be 1 times 2 is 2. B is 3. What two things will multiply to give 2 but add to give 3 is going to be 2 and 1. So we can say x plus 1, x plus 2 equals 0. Now remember, we can only do that because the coefficient of this x squared term is 1. If we had a different number in front of there, we would have to use a different method to factorize and have to do the grouping method. So here we've got our x plus 1, x plus 2. So then, therefore, x is equal to negative 1 or negative 2. So we could have done the x plus 1 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0, x equals negative 2, x equals negative 1. Here we've got, and I forgot to write my equals 0, x squared minus 5x minus 24. So again, AC is equal to negative 24, B is equal to negative 5. What things multiply to give 24? And because I've got a negative, I know I'm going to need one positive, one negative. So 2 times 12, now they're not 5 apart, which is what I'm looking for, so that's not going to work. 6 and 4, also not going to work. 8 and 3, so they are 5 apart. So if I made it negative 8 and positive 3, then that would give me negative 5 as my answer. So I've got x take 8, x plus 3, go in the brackets. So x minus 8 equals 0, so x equals 8. Or x minus 3, x plus 3 equals 0, so x is equal to minus 3. Last one, recognizing that this is what we call a perfect square. And the other way to do it is 25, so AC is 25, B is 10. What multiplies to give 25 but adds to give 10? 5 times 5. Otherwise, we're recognizing the perfect square, which means we would have x plus 5 all squared. 0. Therefore, we've only got one answer here. So x is equal to negative 5.